Hi guys, now we'll see Leetcode SQL question find followers count. So here we are given table named followers. In this table there are two columns, user ID and follower ID. Here combination of user ID and follower ID is the primary key, and each row contains the IDs of user and follower of a social media app where each like follower follows some user. Now we have to write SQL query that will give for each user the number of followers it has. And we have to return the resultant table ordered by user ID in ascending order. Like we'll see examples so that we can understand this question in a better way. This is followers table. We have two columns, user ID and follower ID. Like to user 0, follower ID 1 is following, to user ID 1, follower ID 0 is following, and so on. And in the resultant table we want two columns, user ID and followers count, that will give for each user ID what is the count of followers. Like for user ID 0 there is only one follower, for user ID 1 also there is one follower, but user ID 2 there are two followers, so we'll return 2. Now how can we approach this? So approach is quite simple. We'll just group rows based on user ID, and then count for each group we'll count the followers count, follower IDs count. And this can be done simply by doing group by user ID and count and applying aggregate count function on follower ID. Now we'll see actual query so that we can understand this approach in a better way. So in the output table, we want user ID and followers count column. So we'll select user ID and followers count column from followers table. Then we'll group rows based on user ID and apply aggregate function count on follower ID column. After that, now we have user ID, and for each user ID, we'll have followers count. But in the question, it is given that return the resultant table ordered by user ID in ascending order. So we'll simply do order by user ID ascending.